PIM is a central source of truth where you can enrich that data and then you can syndicate it or distribute that to different storefronts, marketplaces, or retailers.
Problem is the input. So when you have bad data that you're giving the AI, you're running that, you're moving back towards being reactionary again. You're backfilling things. So the real thing to have is consistent data that isn't just built for humans, but is also built for a machine.
Today we're discussing the hidden engine of digital commerce, which is the product data. Because in 2026, the biggest barrier to AI adoption is the dirty data.
Don't treat this messy product data as an operational annoyance. Treat it like an opportunity. Get everything organized and put the validation and checks in place so that the bad data doesn't slip through.
Hi everyone, this is Maheen and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. Today we're discussing the hidden engine of digital commerce, which is the product data. Because in 2026, the biggest barrier to AI adoption isn't the technology itself, it's dirty data. And when your catalog is built for human eyes rather than the machine executive, your AI initiatives will fail in production. Joining us are two leaders from JasperX Technologies, Lisandro Nunez, the VP of Growth, and Nick Spencer, the VP of Solution Engineering. Jasper X is the only Canadian PIM platform built for digital commerce, trusted by brands like Samsonite and Yeti Cycles. And together, they help SMBs move from spreadsheet chaos to a high-performing data foundation. So lots to uncover. So without further ado, let's dive in and welcome our guests. Lisandro, Nick, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you both here. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you very much for hosting us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, there were a lot of things that I had mentioned in my intro as well. And one of them that stood out to me was the PIM. Is that how you say it? PIM?
PIM or PIM. Mostly PIM.
Okay.
PIM's kind of the, PIM.
Okay,
yeah.
PIM. Okay, so let's begin our conversation by really understanding how do we define the PIM advantage. For many SMBs, PIM is a new term, like for myself as well, yet it sits at the heart of how giants like Shopify and Amazon operates. Tell us, what is a PIM platform and how do you know when your data system is failing?
Well, sounds good. So a PIM stands for Product Information Management, in case people have not heard. So it's the Jasper X PIM is it's a modern e-commerce platform that helps to take product chaos and turn it into a very concise, consistent, and high quality product experience management system. So what it really does is it helps companies that have multiple products, dealing with complexity, and to put it into one central place. So it's a central source of truth where you can enrich that data and then you can syndicate it or distribute that to different storefronts, marketplaces, or retailers. So it really takes a very highly manual process and turns it into something magical that's easy for the team to actually execute and manage.
Absolutely. And that sounds very helpful indeed. And it tells us that moving from scattered spreadsheets to a single source of truth is a difference between really struggling to keep up and being ready to scale. Now let's explore why AI initiatives fail without a strong data foundation. Tell us, why do AI commerce initiatives fail and what makes data truly AI ready?
Yeah, so I think the big thing with that one, right, is a lot of people will automatically blame the model, right? There's so many models coming out right now. So the first thing that they'll go to is, I need a better AI model. Oh, no, we got to wait till Claude or OpenAI has the new release. But that's not actually the problem. The problem is the input, right? So imagine this, right? You got an e-commerce project going. The demos look great. You got the end-to-ends going and everything like that. And it looks fantastic. But then what happens is when it actually hits production, you're fixing stuff on the fly. You've noticed that there's all these little gaps, that the AI wasn't able to work with data that was properly, created and with that intent. And then it kind of moves you away from, with a PIM, it allows you to be preemptive. But when you have bad data that you're giving the AI and you're running that, you're moving back towards being reactionary again. You're backfilling things. So the real thing to have is just to have like consistent data that isn't just built for humans, but is also built for a machine as well. The great analogy I like to use, right? And then this one's really common in programming, is you say, imagine an alien comes down from space, right? And you have to explain to that alien how to make a peanut butter sandwich. You can't imply things that a human would already know, right? Like you'd be like, hey, like, yeah, go to the cupboard and get the jar of peanut butter. The alien's going to be like, what's a cupboard? What's a jar? Now, AIs obviously operate a bit differently, where they have lots of common knowledge that they can base off. But when it comes to your actual particular business logic, you have to make sure that not only is that data in place, but it's consistently organized throughout your product catalog, so that the AI model itself actually knows what it's dealing with, and it's not being reactionary instead of being preemptive as well. So that 100%, like, that is the most important aspect of making sure that an AI project with regards to product information management doesn't fail.
So data feeding the AI is incomplete or inconsistent. Even the most advanced model in the world won't drive the conversion. So thank you for highlighting that.
Yeah.
Next, help us look at how clean data protects margins during scale. How does structured product data help reduce returns and protect margins?
So I can take that one. So when we're talking about margins, perhaps it's better to understand the situation for which company selling the product would benefit from this. So if someone's going to buy a sweater and they go into the shop, they can pick up the sweater, they can look at it, they can actually flip it around, see what where this was made, what it's made out of. And so they can decide, I'm going to take this or not. When you're selling products online, it's a completely different experience, right? So whereas you can go online and you can see the nice website you have, there's nice pictures of this sweater. I can see the different images there, the front view, the back view. I can see where it's made. But it's really nicely designed. So the importance of the data is all that the consumer is relying on. So whether it's, text, copy, or descriptions, whether it's images, whether it's customer reviews, that's what really helps the customer to have the proper experience. And if they don't have the proper experience, guess what? The customer returns the product. So the customer or the company has done so much work to sell the product, and then they find that these returns are coming back, and that's a very significant impact on margin and profit. But even more so, and this is the really dangerous part,
Right.
in the long term, they start losing the customer satisfaction, the customer loyalty. And so then they start actually not just looking at this loss on this particular item, but actually on the lifetime value of that customer. So having the right structured data, visible, available, correct, is critical for the consumer experience and for profitability.
Oh, this was very detailed. And thank you for explaining to our audience how do we protect margins as we scale, because accurate data, it really ensures that the customer gets exactly what they expect, which is the most effective way to really drive loyalty and really prevent costly returns. To all the e-commerce founders that are watching us, in 2026, your growth is a liability if your data is a mess. So if you think AI is a magic button that will fix your messy spreadsheets, you are in a very expensive surprise. Lisandro and Nick at Jasper X have seen it time and again that the technology isn't the issue, the data is. So don't wait until your catalog breaks during a major launch. Centralize your product truth now so you can launch faster, reduce returns, and actually see an ROI on your AI investments. Your data is your foundation. Build it for machine execution today so you can win tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break here. Please don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we will break down how to manage product data across multiple channels without really losing control.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive straight into how businesses can create a single source of truth while adapting to different channel requirements. Now let's explore managing shared data across multiple commerce websites or channels. How can businesses manage shared product data across multiple channels efficiently?
I got this one. So the key to this one, right, is you want to have, first off, a shared truth. What I mean when I say shared truth is a consistent structure of your product data that makes sense to your business and your business logic, that's going to allow you to manage everything moving forward. And I'll explain why. You have a lot of, and this is, working with many different businesses over the years, I've noticed that so many of them are bending their data to suit a certain front end experience, right? So they're bending their data to suit a certain platform. They want to have it presented in a certain way for the customer, which is very important, obviously, right? Like we want that. We want to give the customers that good experience. But here's the problem. Front ends change. Customer experiences change. Trends change. And what happens when you've put your data in a specific way and you've for lack of a better word, you've compromised it. You've compromised your data to fit a certain front end experience. And then let's say a new platform comes out that everybody's using. They're doing like the best rate for transactions. They're not taking as much of a cut as the other ones. So your margins go up. You're like, we got to get on this platform right now. Oh, but we've done our data in a really weird way to serve X platform. And now it's going to be a 6 month to year project to allow us to be able to manipulate that data and go through the same pattern again and get it ready for the other one. So the idea is you want to have a shared central source of truth and then make the outputs flexible. So for example, imagine I've got a name and I've got a description and I've got a tag. On X platform, the name goes to the name field, right? On other platform, they want to put the name plus a hyphen and the tag. Well, some people might then just start making another field where they're manually copying in like that name and putting a hyphen in the tag. But what you want to do is actually have smart rules that transform your data on the way out to the output.
Right.
So my whole mantra has always been like, never compromise your data for the sake of a front end experience. Have your data very solid and then manipulate the output on the way out to the channels to serve that front end experience. And that's how you're going to get the best balance of like protecting your data and having it like managed consistently over time, but then also being able to onboard quickly onto new platforms in order to get you out there to more people to sell more, which is obviously massive, right? Today's,
Right.
environment. But yeah.
Super insightful, no, in terms of letting us, understand, like creating a system that enforces validation rules automatically really allows your teams to focus on marketing rather than the manual data entry.
Yeah.
Finally, let's look at how the evolution to Jasper X happened and its AI focus. Please tell us, what is the vision behind Jasper X and where should brands start to scale faster?
I can take that. So Jasper X, Jasper started back in 2010 and very quickly developed a product information management system, a PIM system. And so before, PIM was a buzzword. So over a decade of experience there. But with changing times, what we found is companies, you mentioned like Samsonite, like Getty Cycles, like Tile, Life 360, they are moving to a new era. So before, the PIM was really to help to optimize, so take manual work to organize. But today, it goes from product data organization to, and I actually was at a conference yesterday, Neil Patel, well-known marketer, was exhibiting, and he was talking about how AI determines whether your brand exists. Right. Because it's no longer just, I have a website and we've been around for 50 years. It's, is the product that you have represented on your website the same as what is being represented on Amazon, the same as being represented on eBay or other storefronts, other retailers. And if there's discrepancies, you start losing the value, you start losing that trust. And because the LLMs, like ChatGPT, like Gemini and so forth, they want to be the source. So when they find information that is not 100% accurate, then they don't take their customers there. And that means that your brand really starts suffering in this world of AI. So AI it's a very different view. It's not having that website that looks pretty, when you go to, and you like, ooh, you get that feeling. Right. The human looking at that information is very different. They look at the graphics. They're like, ooh, look at that. That communicates something to me. Whereas AI just goes, text, brr,
image.
Is it the same as what I saw over there? It is? Good. So it's very different. So the world of AI has made having accurate, consistent product data more important than ever. And so we're actually getting pulled in this direction because of AI.
Amazing. Now that tells us that focusing on the experience and the extensibility, it shows that you're building a platform that grows alongside the ambitious brands that you serve. This was a great conversation. Thank you so much for walking us through how important AI is in this day and age for SMBs to adopt. As you wrap up, if there's one key piece of advice for founders that are struggling with really messy data, what would it be?
Yeah, so look, when it comes to it, don't treat this messy product data as like an annoyance, as an operational annoyance. Treat it like an opportunity. Think about all of the times that you've had, like failed product launches, for example. You've had to go back and take stuff off a publish and go and fix it and put it back forward, all because like bad data is slipping through. So take this as the opportunity to almost kind of take a step back, figure out like what is important to you and what's important to your data, get everything organized, and then put the validation and checks in place so that the bad data doesn't slip through. And I guarantee you, watch how big of a difference it makes. When you're going to go to a new platform, it doesn't become this 6 to 12 month project. It becomes much more smooth. And as you do more and more of them with your data consistently organized, it just gets easier and easier as it goes. So treat it as an opportunity rather than some kind of annoyance that you just keep dealing with and putting off.
Absolutely. Do you want to add something
If
to
I
that?
could add just very quickly to that, I would say, don't wait and try to get things perfect. Move forward. Come talk to us.
Yeah.
Your viewers are experts in what they do in their business. So,
Right.
When we need to know what their business is, you go to the experts. So don't try to figure it out. If you have any questions, just reach out to the experts, and we're happy to help.
Absolutely. This is such a great reminder that starting with the data foundation is the only way to really build a business that actually scales. Thank you so much to the both of you for being here and for sharing such great expertise and your insights.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.
And that was Lisandro and Nick from JasperX Technologies, a masterclass on why your product data is the key to unlocking AI-driven growth and how to build a foundation that lasts. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. Please be sure to subscribe and visit CanadianSME.ca for more resources. To learn more about how we are supporting the ecosystem, please visit Canadian SME Small Business Foundation at smefoundation.ca. A special shout out to our partners, UPS, ADP, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses across Canada.